The following is a Podbeard production.
Oh my god!
I whack off for justice.
What is it, Nintendo?
Real power comes from
Gene Simmons from
in a world where two ordinary gamers team up to fight the forces of boredom. This is their podcast, and this is their story.
Oh, there's a new game that goes in the back of my collection for PS4, ukulele.
What's up, everybody? I'm Hodder.
And that was our producer, and we're totally keeping that in. And if he deletes
that's-
that, I'll kill him.
No, that's literally
the opening.
That's our opening.
I'm Caz, Adore Jones, and yes, welcome back, Mr. Hodder.
Thank
Before
you.
we get
Thank
into
you.
this, you have some news to share with the world.
Yeah. So before we get into our regularly scheduled programming here on Two Guys in a Game,
regularly
I
scheduled.
really
Cough.
or like scheduled like 2 weeks in advance, and then
Scheduled as soon as I get off my midnights. Okay, go on with your news.
So, the last, pretty much the entire life of this podcast, there's been something I've been planning in my process. It has nothing to do with podcast stuff or anything, so I
Oh,
apologize.
thank God. I was worried there for a second. I thought he was going to be like, the podcast is shut down.
Yeah, so it turns out that Podbeard is actually being shut down, and yeah, Two Guys in the Game is done. Sorry, bye. But yeah, so for those of you who know me and don't know me, I have someone in my life who I've had for the last 6 years, and pretty much the entire life of this podcast, I've been planning to propose to this person, and I did last week while I was away on vacation. So I am now engaged.
To be...
Bob.
No,
What?
to be married.
I am
When
to
you
be
say you're
married.
engaged, it's just like, I'm engaged now. Engaged in what? In this podcast. Finally, I'm fully
I'm engaged.
engaged.
I'm
I haven't
fully
been before.
engaged.
I've
Yeah.
been staring at the ceiling for the past 14 episodes.
The past 13 episodes I've been saying it. No, but I am now engaged to be married to the love of my life, Miss Samantha Light. So she would be Samantha Hodder. So yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff, I guess, right?
Yeah, it is. That's congratulations on
you.
that. I too one day hope to not be alone forever.
You'll never be alone, Caz. I'll always be here.
No, you won't. You'll go have kids, and then you're gonna name your kids Kaz, and
I
you
already
won't
have
even
kids.
need me.
I already have kids.
Not real kids.
That's it. It's over. It's done. Get out.
I knew this day was coming.
So you're saying my cats aren't kids?
No, just like my dogs aren't kids. My dogs are babies. Get it right.
God damn it, Kath. So yeah, that's my news. And then I went on vacation. We went up north, and
Way
I'm
up
sure you
north
guys don't
where
want to
the
hear about.
TJ
You know,
goes.
I'm sure you guys don't want to hear about how I proposed or what I said or anything, but I want to tell at least this story real quick because it's actually a really funny story.
Yeah, for sure.
So when we got up there, we went up to Collingwood. For those of you who are familiar with where we live, we live in Ontario, Canada. Because I know we have almost more people who listen to this podcast who don't live in Canada now, also.
Yeah.
Which is really cool and really exciting. So hi to everyone from
Hi to the world.
to the world
Of
Ha-ha!
Warcraft.
World of Warcraft.
Of Warcraft. Oh my God.
This will affect the entire world of Warcraft. I love that episode so much.
It is one of the best.
Live to win.
So tell us
till you
your story.
die. Sorry. So
Sorry.
when we got up there, it was the day we got up there, it was really beautiful. And I'm all excited. But I was still kind of nervous because I was like, I want everything to go perfect. Because I had this plan. We were going to go on this little hike in this trail, and there was just a lookout spot that was so beautiful. And I was like, I'm going to post to it right there. Everything was great. Woke up the next morning, the day of our anniversary. Cease sick, or getting sick. And sorry, Brandon was just really excited to get his coffee.
I wish sometimes we recorded video because if you could just have these little video moments that are happening in the background,
that
like when
would've been
TJ's cat shows up and we're both just awkwardly shit,
There's a
there's
cat
pussy
here.
on the table.
We're drowning in pussy over here. When Brandon's in the background because of where Brandon plays.
He's the best.
But so anyway, he is the best. He's
Best ostrich you could have in your studio.
But anyway,
Sorry, I missed my cue.
so wake up that morning and it's already not going the way I planned because it was totally overcast and getting ready to rain. And I was like, oh my God,
And the music that was playing was like, "Hello, darkness, my old friend."
I was freaking out because I barely slept that night because I was so worried that something was going to go wrong. I wasn't worried. I wasn't nervous about proposing to her, but I was like, oh my God, like something's going to go
You were
wrong.
like, "Oh my God."
It's Mitch Connors. So
Wait a minute. Where's Sam? She's outside and it's raining. Oh my God. Get off the streets! Get off the streets! Oh God! Oh, get off the streets! Ah, TJ, what's wrong? Get out of there! Get out of there, Sam! You're gonna die! You're gonna die, TJ. I'm just sitting down. Oh my God!
it's raining and you're going to die.
Sharon! Sharon! Sorry, I've been working on my freaking dramatic Randy because at work now, like when somebody freaking gets all dramatic about something, I just a reflex in my head. I turn around. Me and Jay were joking about it at work, and I turned around the one time and he said something to me. He's like, "Oh yeah, we don't have any turkey prep." Then I turned around and I went, "Oh my God!" Just
We're not turkey.
oh my God, we can't make the turkey club. We can't make the turkey club. Just Stanley. No, but yeah. Anyways, continue with your
I'll get through this at some point.
Tangent King.
That's the Tangent King, Cazador Jones. So we were listening to the podcast on the way home.
Oh God,
I have to tell this story now. I'll get back to the other one. I
Is this how you proposed? You were listening to the podcast? That would just be the worst proposal ever.
I'm not gonna lie to you. Here was okay. I have to tell like 3 stories now. Okay, so
finish your first story.
Okay, yes,
Just
I'll go back and
the
finish my first story. Okay, I apologize, everyone. Okay, so I woke up that morning and like everything's already going to shit, and I was like, I don't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
So my backup plan was to basically record a podcast while I'm there because she was still asleep. So I was like, I'm gonna go outside to the Jeep and record a podcast, upload it, and it'd be me. I'd be like, Brandon, I need your help right now, even though Brandon was in Florida. No response. There you go. And like, I was going to just like play it for her in the car. And like, I was like, this isn't the best proposal in the world, but it's going to have to do. It's unique at least. So, but anyway, so that's was one of the things I was going to do. But I went outside and it was like raining. I'm like, fuck. So she gets up, we go out for breakfast. I was driving to breakfast and I was so like, just like messed up because I was so nervous that it was going to rain because it would have ruined everything if it rained. That I was like apparently all over the road, and she was like, "What is wrong with you? All over the road? Like you're so distracted today. What's going on?" Like she knew something was up. We have breakfast now. Okay, we gotta go. So we're like driving up to this place, and it's still overcast, and I'm like, "Oh my God, Nick, this is not good." I was like sweating.
You were
buckets.
like, "Oh my God!" As you're looking up at the clouds, she's like, "What's wrong with you?" Sharon on the cloud.
That's pretty much what I was doing. And the worst part was I had this big fucking ring box in my pocket that I couldn't hide.
Is that like a euphemism for something?
No, it's literally a
this
ring.
Big old ring box sticking out of my pocket. She knew something was
ring
up.
box in my pocket.
I'm not happy to see you. Trust me.
It's actually a ring box. But like, I was like, I didn't know how she couldn't see it. It was this big square patch in the side of my fucking pants. Anyway, so we're driving and like, I'm just like, I'm about to like throw up. I was so nervous that like it was gonna rain, and we still had like a good half hour before we'd even be at the spot.
Yeah.
So then, cue the clouds literally opening and like sun shining down, and I was like, "Oh my God, it's a sign! My God, it's a sign!" And then I'm like, "Okay, the next beautiful spot I see, we're pulling over, and I'm going to propose to her." Cue North Winds Beach, which I didn't know was there. And like the sun was literally shining down on it. And I was like, oh wow. And then she was like, oh my God, that's so pretty. And I was like, pull over. So we pull in there. And like, it's a really bad lead up. And like the whole beach was mud. Except for this one spot that was like kind of secluded
where the
off
sun
to itself.
was shining down on.
It was literally like, I'm not even exaggerating. Like the sun was literally shining down. The sand everywhere was all mud except for right there. It was like perfect sand. So we go and we're walking over there and everything. And yeah, I asked her to marry me and she asked if I was joking. And I said no. I'm down on one knee in sand. Why would I be joking about this?
This is not joke. Are you gonna marry me, Sharon?
And luckily she said yes, and here we are. So yeah.
Luckily,
Yeah.
luck had nothing to do with it.
But
That was time and commitment.
It was 6 years of my life. So yeah,
There
it
you
was
go.
commitment. But the other funny story is we were listening to Two Guys in the Game on the way home, the latest episode, because I hadn't heard it yet,
Yeah.
aside from recording it. And I always like to listen back to them at least once just to kind of hear what Brandon does more than anything.
Oh,
And
nice.
Brandon,
Nice.
Brandon, the fucking crickets, dude. So I'm talking right to Brandon, were like, oh my God, that was amazing. He just gave me the thumbs up. And of course, the fixing Caz's screw up.
Shut up. It wasn't a screw up.
It's
People
now
just say
time
things
for
differently.
a
Tomato,
sexy-
tomato.
It's now time for a sexy correction with your Phoenicia. Hi, everybody. That just made me laugh so hard when he did that.
It was
I was
pretty
like,
good. It was
oh
good.
my God. But we were listening to it, and like Sam's not a podcast person. So she's just sitting there, like just totally not impressed with everything. And like, she's just like, you guys aren't even funny. Like, it's just like, you guys aren't even, and it was the intro where the one last week where like you did that like weird like drunk Caz intro. And like she was just like, this isn't even funny. And I'm like, it's so funny. You just don't. So it was just really funny. And yeah, so that was my vacation and my proposal. Other than that,
She was
literally-
like, this sounds like shit. Why do you listen to it? It's like, it doesn't sound like shit. And then you have the headphones on. It's like,
as it's little shit.
and you're like, no, man, I really like this podcast. Get off my back. No, don't do it. Don't.
I couldn't
flaccid.
do it. It's headphones.
Flaccid.
Aha, flaccid is flaccid.
Flaccid.
So,
I just realized how funny. I'm really tired, guys.
yeah, we're both like actually really tired. So we're
But I
like,
have an excuse for being tired. TJ's just a dumbass.
I just couldn't fall asleep last night.
So there you go.
It's pretty early in the morning.
See, I don't have a choice. I'm not allowed to fall asleep.
Yeah, Kaz has been working midnights the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
How's that been?
So, I told you this earlier. I said if somebody came up to me right now and they said, here, you can use this one-use time machine for anything at all to go correct any mistake in your life, your biggest embarrassing moment, anything at all. I said I'd go back in time and I'd punch myself so hard in the gut for taking this midnight position. Literally. I have never made such a poor decision in my life. So yeah, and they've just been like essentially killing me. It's
been
like, I'm
horrible,
pretty sure the reason why Donald Trump is president is because of midnights. No, I'm just joking. I honestly do believe, though, the reason why Justin Trudeau is still in office is because of midnights.
Thank God he is.
Yeah, okay, we have different opinions on that.
Aha, just joking. Ha come weed whacker.
Yeah, so, no, like, bad movies exist because of midnights. They do. Like, whenever you go to the movies, you're like, I think this movie might be good. And then you go watch it. And then you're like, wow, I got to go to work now because I got to do my midnights. And then you go into work, and you're like, oh, I saw this movie. It was really good. Your opinion's worth shit to me now if you do midnights. Because Tita's just giving me this blatant stare like, midnights are the worst.
Midnights, yeah, I did midnights for a month. And like, I was just like, nah.
Are you sure it wasn't just a week? Because in my experience, doing midnights for a week feels like doing midnights for a month. Like, honestly, this last week, I was like, I got to the end of my week, and I'm like, I have never hated working
I also wasn't around for a week,
so
though.
much.
You sure that's not the real reason?
No.
You missed me?
Dude,
No? Okay.
No, it was just like,
I didn't miss you at all, no.
no. I don't miss people who go and get engaged. I don't miss those people, so. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So yeah, that's what I've been up to. It's been fun. Yeah, I didn't get engaged. I didn't get to go up to a nice beach where the sun shines down. I didn't get to go to Florida. So
Yeah, like the producer and I have had like a really like good week.
yeah, you guys are all like, yeah, we gotta record this podcast. We gotta, and I'm just like, I just want to die. And you guys, and then TJ's like, come on, you can come over and record it tonight. I'm like,
this was recorded Sunday night. And he's like,
why don't we
Yeah.
take our podcast and put it over there? Hey, wait a minute. That might actually work.
literally, I'm like, you're like, I'll need to sleep till like 11 or 12. And I was like,
17 hours later.
And literally at like 8 p.m. you text me like, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, it's all good.
And what is this? Caz is still sleeping in his bed? Oh my. TJ must be upset. Let's check in on TJ. TJ's just like, "Wah!" Just like smashing things in his apartment. God damn it.
Actually, I took that opportunity to do something which we will talk about in a minute.
Okay.
Because
Do you want me to put the timer on? 1 minute
no.
from now, TJ and Zach will talk about something.
new promo in exactly 1 minute. No.
Tune in 1 minute from now for the. No, I'm just. All right. Is it time for? Is it time for something?
I believe it is now time. If you're, is there anything else new that you would like to share with the world?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh
My
God.
God. No, there's nothing.
You mean I am a part of this show too?
I'll just throw it into the news. What I have to say.
Okay, so I believe it is now time for some gaming news.
Oops, sorry, I spoiled that. My bad.
That's okay, Caz. We forgive you.
Ready your sphincters, everyone. It's now time for Hodder and Caz's sexy news report.
It's been a long night for Cazador Jones. You're going on like what? This is like 14 hours without sleep.
Doing this to me.
What?
Seriously, I am like them in that episode where my eyes are just like, I'm crying when I get home. My mom's like, how was your day? Look at my hands. They're shaking. I don't even know why.
Look at this shit, Morty.
I don't even know why they're shaking. It wasn't that bad. Oh, God, I wasn't in control that night at all. Yeah.
So in the news today, we have two things regarding two different consoles. So for those of you Nintendo Switch fans out there, if you've been noticing...
Switch wind blowers.
Switch wind blowers. Excuse my misspeak, ladies and gentlemen.
You speak profanity.
I speak profanity. To all of our motorized wind blowers out there, I apologize for calling you fans, because that's not what you are. To all of the Nintendo motorized wind blowers out there, if you've been noticing some weird, like, time issues going on with your Switch, basically what's been going on is Nintendo Switch has been resetting the play times.
It's kind of like Y2K on the Nintendo Switch from what I can see here. It's basically like, oh no, what's going to happen when the Switch hits the new year for its 1 year anniversary? Every Switch will die. Oh my God.
And it doesn't seem like it's something that's going to be permanent.
Like, it doesn't seem like it's something that's
they're
that
working to
big
fix
of a
it,
deal, guys. It's not like you're going to lose your save files.
It's just playtime. So if you've been noticing, if you're like, I put 100 hours into Stardew Valley because Kaz told me to, and then you go in and you're like, oh my God. So what we're saying is they took your playtime.
Nah.
We're not doing it this week?
saying
Okay,
that.
okay, that's fine.
Shut up. Shut up, Meg.
Shut up, TJ.
Shut up.
So, the other bit of gaming news here is, ladies and gentlemen, the most exciting thing we've ever talked about here on Two Guys in a Game.
When TJ told me about this, and Brandon for that matter, when they both told me, they were so excited. This is a big friggin' deal.
This is like the biggest
this
deal.
revolutionizes gaming.
Like, who gives a shit about me getting engaged? This is the biggest news on this podcast.
Yeah,
today.
seriously. Like, you have a Nintendo Switch, throw it away, because what this company's done is just, you don't need Nintendo anymore. Go ahead, tell them.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to talk all soft and epic for this one. Because the Xbox One has announced a brand new... Can we get a drum roll? Controller!
That's right.
That's
gotcha. Don't
Just
throw away your
kidding.
Nintendo Switch. And then there's like somebody out there who's like, what the fuck, Kaz? What the fuck? I just threw my fucking Switch away because of you.
Cute our boy Dylan, who is
You
probably throwing his
asshole.
Switch out.
He's just like, it's just on fire. And I threw my Switch away for this stupid controller. Well, it's not stupid. It's a military grade or whatever. Who cares?
So basically, the Xbox One has released a new combat tech controller. And from what I understand, it is basically a combat
You're not
tech
American
controller.
unless you buy this controller.
I'm guessing it has some camo or something. I don't know what it's. It seems like it's designed more for like combat-based games and first-person shooters.
Yeah, so what other kind of games are there? Like, are
on
you playing
Xbox One?
Peggle with your friggin' Xbox One?
No.
Yeah, seriously?
See, it's funny though, because we've talked about this before with the Xbox One, what is the main games that you see people playing on Xbox One? First-person shooters and
No,
combat-based
I was going to
games.
say none. None of the above. No games on the Xbox One.
Literally none. But no, like if they know, this is actually, we've kind of been ripping on this, but this is actually kind of smart the more I think about it. Because they know what their market is. People are going to buy the shit out of this. Because they're going to be like, oh my God, this is designed specifically for first-person shooters and combat
They should have
games.
done that controller before they came out with the whole, hey, you can customize your own controller to fit you. Because that was a better idea than them going, well, we could invest time in making more games, or
we could make a new controller for the games we already have.
A cardboard box for our Xbox and make it a video game. Oh my god! Oh my god! No, I'm sorry, I went off topic there. I'm just really, really not impressed with something.
Still so bad about
I am. I keep reading about it too. Every day I go on and IGN's like, hey, this actually kind of like sucks. And I'm like, thank you, IGN. I'm like, wait a minute. No, me and IGN don't agree on stuff. No, that means they're wrong and I'm wrong. It's just the truth. TJ's
awkward silence.
We've talked about this so much.
No, but like I understand what you're saying, but I think it's interesting that Xbox is now it's cool that they've kind of realized like, okay, what can we do to make more money? Let's make a controller for first person
out of
shooters.
solid gold and market it at a low price
of $397.34 in 12 easy payments.
And it also comes in a bundle with an Xbox One, no game. And you also, the controller, you can't put batteries in it because it's actually just a solid gold bar.
It's not actually a controller.
You can try and use it, but it's actually just solid gold.
It's solid gold.
And then you got this one guy just sitting there. He's just like, look at my solid gold controller, Mom. Accomplished that. How much did that cost you?
$40,000.
Not a lot. I gotta go work at KFC now. See you later. No, I'm just joking.
And he brings his controller with him. So are you saying that everyone who has Xbox One works at KFC?
I am saying that everybody who owns an Xbox One allegedly, either A, works at KFC, B, owns a KFC, 3, oh wait, I was doing A and B before that. This is how tired I am. C, they live at KFC.
Or D, they only
and D,
eat KFC.
They are the Colonel.
The Colonel. Well, I'll tell you he did. The Colonel.
The Colonel. I would like to see the Colonel. It's like the one Mike Myers skit was like, oh yeah, I hate the Colonel with his wee beady eyes. Oh, I know you're going to buy my chicken. It's because he puts an addictive chemical in it that makes you crave it fortnightly.
Who's Michael Myers?
Mike Myers?
Yeah.
Like which Michael Myers? Like, are you talking about the
Who's
serial?
Mike Myers?
Mike Myers? You don't know Mike
I don't
Myers?
know pop culture. Remember?
Shrek.
You need to teach me pop culture.
Teaching TJ about pop culture.
You know who
Mike
Mike
Myers.
Myers is. I don't have to explain
What,
it.
no, but what were you quoting? What was that skit
That
you
is
quoted?
from So I Married an Axe Murderer. It is hilarious.
Is that a movie or what
Yeah,
is it?
so
Yeah,
Mike
I've never seen
Myers meets this woman. He's totally like falls for her and everything, and then he starts to suspect that she's like killed all of her
axe
husbands and
murderer?
stuff. Yeah, so then that's the joke. But like he plays in the movie, Mike Myers does that whole classic thing like he did in Austin Powers where he's playing other characters in the movie. So he plays his father in the movie, and his father's this Scottish guy who just sits in front of the TV all day and complains about shit, and that's one of his things. He goes, oh, I hate the Colonel. I hate him. He puts an addictive chemical in his chicken that makes you crave it fortnightly. No?
I've just never seen it.
It's funny. It's worth the watch.
It sounds funny.
Sam would like it, I think, because it's you know, you guys are getting married, so she might be an axe murderer. Zach, you can no longer come to the wedding.
Sorry,
my!
buddy. Sorry, buddy.
All right. Any other gaming news?
No gaming news. But I believe it is time for us to talk a little bit about what we have been playing this week or so. Now, obviously, with me going away for a week and being off, I didn't have a whole lot of time to play games. The only actual like video game I've been playing was still Mass Effect, and I will maybe talk about it a little more next week again. Because I did actually beat it.
Mass Effect Andromeda? Don't you mean Mass Defect Andromeda? Oh, just kidding.
It's actually a really good game.
I'm just joking.
Actually,
I know we've already
enjoyed
been
it.
through
But
this.
anyway,
We know it's a good game.
However, I did want to talk about 2 mobile games that I've been playing, which seems a little bizarre.
Well,
because
maybe. Let me think about that. I'll get back to you on that. So let's talk about what I've been playing. No, I'm just joking. Go ahead. Mobile gaming.
Because the thing you're going to talk about is our like main topic for the week. Because like you're gonna like have to talk for like an hour and a half. Anyway,
what are you saying? I talk a lot.
No, I'm saying that.
Yeah. Okay, talk about your games.
So there is a game developer by the name of Team Joe, right?
Good
and
name,
they're
Team
like
Joe.
they're like a smaller kind of like, I don't want to say indie.
Oh, okay.
But like they're from what I can tell.
Oh,
they're
did
just
you
kinda
show
getting
me this
started.
game?
Yes.
It's the one you showed me? Okay.
So-
actually kind of a cool game.
There are 2 games, and there's another one that I haven't showed you that is actually
Like, if you can't
super
afford
cool.
a Nintendo Switch, you should probably maybe play these. I don't know. Maybe you should just save your
They're
money and
free.
buy a Nintendo
Yeah.
Switch.
They're
That's all I'm
literally
saying.
free. If you're looking for mobile games, you should definitely check these ones out because they're free. What's not to like? The first game is called Helenoid Archers versus Dragons. Now, it's kind of hard to explain without showing you, but basically what it is it's really, really simple controls. You start off, you have 3 characters you can choose from. You have to unlock the 2 by playing the actual game. It's a really cool concept, which a lot of games have forgotten, where you don't have to pay money to unlock characters or play as characters.
Or to like
You
go to
literally have
different
play
areas in the
games. Yeah.
map.
Or like
Stupid Fallout 4,
download
Far Harbor,
content.
dumb add-on.
Okay, you know what? Those are fighting words in this
You say that
house.
every time, but it's just the truth.
You know what?
I'm just joking. I've never played Far Harbor, but that's because Fallout 4 was just like, I played it so much, and then I was just like, nah. I'm not spending money on this. I've played it. I hate buying add-ons like 6 months after I played through a game. It's just so hard to get back into.
See, but then there's games like Mass Effect Andromeda where it doesn't have any, and I miss it.
No add-ons?
No.
Yeah, that's like all the games I play lately. Like Super Mario Odyssey. No, never mind. I'll take that back. Super
That
Mario
is
Odyssey
wrong.
just got their first add-on,
That's exciting.
and it's actually a really good add-on.
That's cool.
Yeah. Anyways, continue.
So, basically, what it is it's just a really simple game, and it's very addicting because it's kind of like a rail shooter in a way, where your dude is walking, and the first dude you start with is the guy with a little lance that he throws, and there's
his
only
name
one.
Lance?
I don't know what his name is. There's no names.
Shouldn't
Well,
be
my guy's name is Hodder, obviously, and there's one singular thing you throw. So, like, you hold and angle your finger, and then like you see the little line that arcs up as to where you're going to throw your little arrow or your lance.
Okay.
And then there are these dragons come up, and there's like 6 different levels they can be on as they come at you, and you just have to basically angle it so you throw it and it hits them. And it sounds really simple, and it's a really simple concept. It's a really simple game to get into, but it is challenging. I mean, I'm like in top 20 in the entire world right now. No big deal or anything. Actually, I think I'm top 10 now.
Oh.
I don't even remember.
Is it because they reset the game times on there? Like recently?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. That might be why. Because I'm not that good. But I do have all the characters unlocked. And so you have like your little knight dude, and then you can eventually unlock your archer, which like he throws like 3 arrows instead of 1.
Okay.
So it's really cool. And then eventually you can unlock a wizard he only throws 1 like little fireball deal, but it's easier to control. So as you progress, you can get further in the game, and like it's really just really fun, simple game. There are a lot of ads to watch. Like every time you die, you can have 1 continue, so you can keep racking up points on that playthrough. So you do have to watch like a quick 30-second ad to keep going. But considering it is a game that you do not pay for and is like from an indie developer, I personally have no problem sitting through 30 seconds of an ad because that's how much I enjoyed the game.
Yeah.
And I'm still playing. Like I haven't played it the last couple of days because I've been playing another one. But I've really been enjoying it. So if that sounds fun to you, again, it's called Helenoid. So that's Helanoid, Archers versus Dragons. It's totally free, super fun. You can find it on the Android store and everything right now. The other game, which if you're not a fan of kind of like of a game of that style, you want like a really, really simple game that is super addictive. I think this one's actually more addictive than Archers versus Dragons.
Just when you thought cocaine was addictive, they came out
Just
with crystal
kidding.
meth.
that was a really dark joke.
It's going to get darker.
It's going to get dark as this podcast progresses.
This is going to be the darkest podcast year of our lives, TJ.
It's going to be the darkest year in our adventures, Morty. Ugh. I'm going to break up your parents, Morty. Ugh. Anyway.
Oh, jeez.
So this game is even like an even simpler concept, and it's called Space Wars Defend the Moon.
Too many words.
Too many words.
Too many words. Too many words.
So
okay?
literally, all you have to do in this game, and it's so painfully simple, but it's so fresh. Literally, you have a moon, and you have to defend it from asteroids that are flying at it. And you defend them by literally clicking on them, and they like kind of like just blow up. So it sounds like you're kind of like, I feel like I've heard a game like this before. So it kind of takes like a couple different concepts of games and kind of puts them together in like a really unique, fun twist, which I really enjoyed. And like, aside from the fact that you have to turn the brightness up on your phone like a lot, I think, because I have my brightness set halfway and I couldn't see half the asteroids. That's the only thing I would say that maybe I would recommend.
Maybe that makes the game more
developer,
challenging.
which it does, and I feel like that's maybe like would make it more challenging and more fun for some people. But for me, I was like, I already can't see like dark that well as it is. So I was like, I got to turn the brightness up. But it's super, super fun. It's super easy. You just click on them and they blow up and that's it. And it can get really like challenging as you get closer to the end of the levels because like they are like instead of like 1 or 2 coming at you at a time, they'll be like 10. I'm like, oh god, oh god, oh god. So it's really
You're just
funny.
like sitting there, you're like, no asteroids.
Then all of a sudden, like 4 come at you, and these games are still in development too. Like he's always doing add-ons and all this kind of stuff. So it's really cool. And there's a couple other games as well that he's working on. Good. But you can check out both these games on the Google Play Store as well as on their website, teamjoegames.com. There's a couple other projects he has in the work. There's one that it's like a runner game. Where it's like, I can't remember the name of it right now, but I should have written down the names. There's 2 he's working on that sound really fun. One's a first-person
shooter.
shooter.
Shit together.
Yeah.
Just get your shit
I
together.
apologize. I'm sorry.
Just take your shit to the shit store and sell it, but just get it together.
I'm
okay?
sorry. I'm sorry. That was my summer impersonation. I'm not very good at it.
Summer's hard to do. Grandpa Rick, what are you doing?
So that was okay.
I'm working on it. Okay.
But yeah, Team Joe Games. I hit them up real quick on a comment and said like, hey, we want to talk about you guys, and they seemed like they were really.
They were like, whoa, wow,
cool.
people are gonna talk. Nice. Okay, go blow your air out there.
I don't really care actually.
Why don't you just go whack off someone? No,
let's go whack off someone.
go whack them off. No.
But yeah, so I wanted to give them a quick shout out just because they have some really cool stuff in the works. So definitely keep an eye on them, teamjoegames.com. They also like have some like t-shirts they sell and stuff. And it seems like a pretty cool site and team. So definitely go ahead and check them out. Be sure to give them a follow on social media as well, Team Joe Games. I will be sure to tag them in this on Facebook if I remember, because I'll probably forget. But I'll try really hard not to forget. But yeah, wanted to give them a quick shout out. Yeah, that's all I got. Okay, guys, so we're going to take a quick second to give a much needed shout out to our good friend, Mr. Jason Reese from Jaybird Digital Arts. Whether you guys need t-shirts, logos, business cards, phone manipulation, custom art, anything like that, Jason is your guy.
You've seen our logo. You've seen how awesome it is. Hit him up today by going to www.jaybirddigitalarts.com. That is JAYBIRD digitalarts.com. Go there right now.
Right now, guys. Just pause the podcast.
Jaybird Digital Arts.
Digital Arts. It is now time for me to pass the reins over to
And thank you for joining us here on Two Guys in a Game. I've been Hodder.
And I've been...
has been. Just kidding. I'm not done. I got so much to talk about. Oh, let's see if I can do this. TJ's dying in the corner. So this week, I'm going to talk about a new game. Finally, Caz is playing something new. He's put his Pokemon game down. He's put Stardew Valley over to the side. He's put all the switchy goodness. Well, okay, I should say all the switchy goodness, but most of his switchy goodness. So first of all, I'm going to talk about 2 games.
2 games?
Surprise ending.
And 2 guys?
No, just 2 games.
Oh, okay.
It's 1 guy now. 1 guy and
one singular game.
No, I was just going to say 1 shell of a man who was just crying a minute ago.
Well, because you said I was a has-been, and you're
No,
right.
you're has. Get it? I'm Hodder and you're has. And this has been has. See, you said this has been has. So there you go. You said has been. You said it. That's our alternate versions.
Yeah, like in another universe, there's a
Hazardor Jones. That's actually cool.
Hazardor Jones.
Hazard Jones.
He's a hazard.
All right. So which game do I want to talk
So
about?
that means
first?
in the other universe, you're the fat guy.
Okay. What do you want to hear about? Excuse me?
In the other universe,
What did you
that
just
means
say?
you're the fat guy, right?
I already feel like I'm a fat guy. I'm so fat. Oh my god, I need to lose weight.
Maybe weighs like 90 pounds.
I weigh like 91, thank you.
Anyway.
91 and a half. All right, so what would you rather hear about? A cool detective game where you're solving mysteries that are from different dimensions, or do you want to hear about this little raccoon creature that like I don't even know what it is, and it runs around and it like saves an entire forest?
Raccoon, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't want to hear about the detective one?
I mean, I do, but like I feel like no, do the detective one first.
Okay, I feel like the detective one needs to go first because if I do the raccoon one, everyone's going to be like, oh my god, that was such a good one. And now he's talking about this stupid detective game. Lame. So I'm going to talk about this detective game. So I can just say, first of all, this game was actually like, it wasn't an impulse buy, but like I'm always looking on the eShop on the Switch lately because like, Nintendo, they're bringing out their games, but there's always more stuff to play. And I always like to just buy something quick, easy to download. It's done. And like, I don't have to go to the store and spend $80 on it. So this one only cost me like, I want to say like $15-16. And so I read the description on it and I was like, yeah, this looks interesting. And I watched the trailer. It was just a little weird 8-bit game. And you don't move around or anything. It's all just text and pictures kind of thing. Like there's movement in the pictures, but it's just fun. So it's called the Darkside Detective. Yeah. And so you're this guy who wears a helmet and goes like,
What's his name?
and your partner is this old guy and he's like, good. Now let's detect things on the dark side. And he's like, yes, my master. No, I'm just joking. That's not it. That's not at all the characters. No. The characters are just normal detectives, but they kind of mimic X-Files in a sense, where they're part of this. The one part of their agency is they do dark side files. That's their thing, right? So but there's all these instances where the dark side dimensions have opened up, and they're affecting our world. So every time you go into a different place, like there's like zombies in one area, there's like ghosts in one area, there's one where a parallel universe opens up, and just all this weird stuff, right? So, you go in, and I don't remember the detective's name, but he's just this wisecracking detective, and he's got a partner who's a cop named Dooley, and that I remember because Dooley's hilarious. He's just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go. We got to go detect stuff. Yeah, let's go. Come on. And
Let's go over here.
And then all of a sudden you get to like the most intense part of the your case, and he's like, I'm just gonna, wait out here and stand guard. And your character turns around and goes, are you nervous about this? Is that why you're standing out here? He goes, no. Yes.
Perhaps.
He's like literally like that's how the text goes. It goes like, no. ... Yes. It's just like that. Like literally, it's so blatant. You're just like, okay. So anyways, yeah. So like, it's really cool. They're not like, they're fun like to play through the game for what it's worth. Like the $12 that you spend or like the $15, whatever it is. It's fun because it keeps you occupied. It's like maybe 6 hours of gameplay. Some of the puzzles. Yeah, it's not a long game, but it's an indie game, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough.
And they really need people to support them, and I want to support them because this game. They even say at the end, like the Darkside Detective will return if you tell your friends about this game. Like, so I want them, and
so we're telling our friends.
They could bring an even bigger
and I'm motorized
audience
windblowers
to
about it.
But it's really fun. There's like a lot of puzzles involved, and lots of people might find them tricky. Me, I'm just like a puzzle master, so I'm like, oh, this makes sense. So yeah, this is what I would do if I were a detective.
Yeah, he's Cazador Puzzle Jones.
And like I got through the game pretty quick. So I say 6 hours, but somebody could get stumped on one of them. Like one of them, I was like, oh, you know what? I wouldn't have actually thought of that if I hadn't clicked on everything in this area 50 times. And
so it's kind of like a click and point.
Drag and drop,
kind
of attach things, and like, solving puzzles. And then you find out the end of the mystery. And like the mystery is always something completely like sci-fi or something like that. Like it's always related to something weird. So it's really fun.
Zombies in space.
Yeah, pretty much. So, yeah, so that's a good one.
That sounds cool.
I don't think it's just exclusive to the Switch. It's definitely like a computer game because of the way it was made. But it's cheap, it's fun, and it's worth the time just to like give it a go. And you might as well support it because I could see them actually coming out with like an even bigger game. Like their sequel to it could be even more than this one.
That'd be cool.
This one was just like a nice tiny little
Yeah, and here on Took as a Game, we definitely want to appreciate and support
things that are just like beginning and they need development and are going to go places one day.
Yeah.
We want to support these things.
Kind of like, us.
And Gene Simmons.
From Kiss. Wait, excuse me. Gene Simmons. From Kiss. Anyway. So, Cazador Jones, my friend, what is the other game?
So let's get to the heart of the podcast right here. Like, the heart of the podcast.
The heart of it.
Not the soul, not the dick. The heart of this podcast. It's called FE or FE. I don't actually know how it's pronounced.
Forsaken Empire?
No. It's literally, it's just FE. It's one word. It could be Fe. It could be Fee. I don't know how to pronounce it. I honestly have just read it. I have not heard anything on it, like spoken. So however it's pronounced. This doesn't mean you get to use the correcting thing just because I don't know how to say this.
I feel like Brandon's going to
Don't.
anyway. No, it's enough
joking.
time for a sexy correction. We can't
Anyways,
produce
no.
it.
So I don't know exactly the title, but
You guys could see where Brandon just did a little hip dance. It was really funny.
so yeah, no. I bought this game kind of on an impulse. After I beat the Darkside Detective, I was like, oh, I'm so bored. I need another indie game. Like, that game was so good, but there's going to be nothing on this eShop that even compares to it. So I'm going through it and I'm looking, and like, there's a lot of good games on there, but like me, I really need to adapt into the platforming community as a gamer, and I haven't ever been able to. Like, I can play platformer games, but I just get frustrated so easily with them. Like, you get to like one part in a platformer where you're stuck on it for like 10 years because you just keep screwing up the same spot, and then you finally are just like, I should have just bought that fancy new Xbox controller instead of this goddamn game. And
I need first-person shooters.
But there are so many good games on there. Like, there's Owl Boy. If you've never played that game, when that game first came
Owl
out,
Boy is an owl who is a boy.
oh no, it's like it was the most intense game for indie games, and when they talked about it like at E3 for the first time, it got all this good stuff, like all these good reviews, and it just took off. And it's a really interesting platformer, and it's good. But I get so frustrated playing it. I'm like, I hate this. And there's like another one on there. It's like the top, like it's in the top 10 for platformers, and it looks really good. I just am not interested in platformers because platformers just like tick me off sometimes.
They make me mad.
Yeah, so anyway, so this game, well, okay, I should say two-dimensional platformers. 3D platformers are a different story because I like 3D platformers.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of experience with 3D platformers because
Yeah.
we wouldn't.
So I'm not a snob to 2D. Like, I do play two-dimensional games. I just, sometimes it takes me a little bit, like, somebody really has to sell me on a two-dimensional platformer. But this game, anyways, this is a three-dimensional platformer, the one I'm talking about. So I was on the eShop, and I see this game, and they're like, oh, their tagline is, explore a world you'll never want to leave. So right there, I was like, okay, all right, you got me hooked. Let's see what this is about. And I watched the video.
That's a pretty confident tagline.
Yeah, all right. And so I was like, I watched the video, and I'm like, it ain't Skyrim. It ain't Breath of the Wild. I don't know. I'd leave this world, I guess. And then I kind of looked at some pictures. And then I kind of like went off and looked at another game. And I was like, And then I looked at another game, and I was like, oh, this game looks kind of good. And then I bought that game later on, and I'll get to that. And that game was a mistake. I shouldn't have bought that one because it was just like, really? That was like, ooh, I shouldn't have spent this money. Ooh. But so anyway, so then I go back to this game, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, looks pretty good. It's 3D. It's a platformer. You know, even if this sucks, it looks like it's playable. So I buy it, start playing it. And the second I start playing it, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm not sure how I feel about this. Then I start collecting things. I start collecting these little crystals. I'm like, well, what's this for? And then they're showing like this little icon at the top of the screen, like collect 4 crystals and then go to this area. So I collect the first 4 crystals you run into. Like, you get to just find them pretty quickly. And then I go and stand in this like shrine area. And then all of a sudden my character's like, oh, here's your upgrade. You can climb up trees now. And I was like, seriously? Like, this is awesome. And then lots of people are like, what? Wait a minute. You need to upgrade yourself. You're an animal, but you can't climb up a tree. I thought you said he was a raccoon. Raccoons should know. No, like,
he's a genetically modified raccoon.
I don't know. He's called a fee. Like, that's what your creature is. He's the fee or the fae or whatever. Anyways,
the fae.
I don't know. Fe. He's the Fe.
He's the Forsaken Empire.
He is the final entity. Anyways, hey, that's probably what it stands for.
That's probably
There
what
you
it's
go.
called.
Anyways, so you get this power up. And then, so I was like, oh, cool. And so once you can climb up trees, you're like jumping around. And then all of a sudden you get to these different plants in the forest. And they're all like, they have these giant red X's over them when you walk up to them. And I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I'm going on and I'm going on. And then all of a sudden I get to this one area where you got to like, there's this big bird and you're on Sesame Street. And then Elmo's like, oh, hi. Oh, hello, children. And no, I'm just joking. It's not like that. There's this big bird, and all of a sudden the creatures, your enemy in the game, are these weird, I don't even know how to describe them. They look like spacemen kind of thing, but they're like creepy. And they shoot this beam at you, and it like just basically kills you.
It disintegrates you instantly?
Like, it just destroys you, and then you have to start over from like a different checkpoint. And so they all come up and they steal these eggs. Well, this mama bird's all like, yo, give my babies back, bitch. And so he kills one of them instantly.
I want my baby back, baby back, baby back.
Knocks
baby
one of them
back,
out. And you're like, oh,
bitch.
cool. This is awesome. Maybe this is the key to destroying the bad guy. Nah, it's not. But if you find all the eggs, which is like a little fetch mission, which sold me on the game at this point, when I had to go fetch all of these eggs for the mama bird. And then when you come back, you do this special thing, which is called singing with animals. And that's the Fee or the Fae, whatever it is. I want to settle on a name here. Can we just call it the Fee?
Call it the Fae.
The Fae?
No, Fee. Call it the Fee.
The Fee.
The Fee!
If it just had that stupid accent over it, we'd know it'd be called the Fae, but it doesn't, so I'm going to call it Fee. So anyway,
Fee.
Fees can sing with other animals in the forest, right?
Oh, yeah.
They can learn how to sing like these animals. So this bird teaches you how to do bird speak, basically. So you learn that, and that's your first one of your other power-ups. So I was like, no way, there's like all these other voices you can learn and everything. Like you can see the wheel and like all your possible unlocks and stuff. Mm-hmm. And so I was just like, oh, this is freaking awesome. Like, so you learn that, and then you get to progress a little bit more through the game. And then the next part comes, and I was like wowed away by this. You go to this huge canyon area, and there's this giant deer being like attacked by all these creatures. And you have to go around, and now you get to like, you can glide, which was fun. Like that's one of your power-ups. You can dash. You can learn all these other fun moves if you really want to dedicate yourself to hunting these crystals down, which become a pain in the ass after a while. Like the farther you progress, the more crystals you need to upgrade. It's a pain in the butt, man. It's really painful. Like I've even beaten the game and I haven't found all the crystals yet. And there's still like so many cool powers to learn. And I'm like, what's the point of learning the powers though if there's nothing to do?
If you're beating the game, then
yeah, like you've beaten the game, right? So like it's fun, I guess. I don't know what it does or accomplishes. It's like if you found all the crystals before you go to the end of the game, it still doesn't really make a difference, I don't think. It's just cool that they've added it in. But that was my only downside to it, was I was like, yeah, I would have better integrated these crystals so you actually had everything by the end of the game and just kind of tie it all together.
Maybe a little easier to find.
Yeah,
maybe.
And like I get it. Maybe that's your challenge. Like people who like to do the collectible missions and like they go out and they like want to get 100% completion. I totally understand that. That's a great platform for that kind of stuff. But it was just kind of like, to me, it was almost like there's no purpose after you beat the game. Mm-hmm. So why am I doing this anymore?
Bother,
like I still
basically
try and go back and like I find a couple crystals and then I get bored and I'm like,
whatever.
But yeah, no, overall though, like it was great. Like when you're learning all these different voices, when you're trying to like maneuver around it here, like it takes a little bit of like getting used to trying to like grab onto trees. And when you're gliding, you're jumping off of like a cliff and you're flying down, you're like trying to make sure that you're like landing just right. Lots of weird creatures. You learn all these different calls that help you like open up different like flowers or like areas, which is just kind of nice. And like flowers have different abilities. So your singing voice basically opens these flowers. So different voices activate different flowers, that kind of stuff. Just overall, yeah, it literally is a mesmerizing world. It's $23 plus tax.
But you get some decent gameplay out of it.
But it's like, it's actually.
It sounds like a really fun game.
It's something to give a shot, and I'm pretty sure it's not super indie, but it's indie enough where you're like, okay. Yeah, and it's pretty popular on the eShop. I've seen a lot, like it's in the top downloads, bestsellers kind of thing. But it's worth your time. Like if you were looking for just a quick 3D platformer, I recommend it. Like it's something worth trying, and it's unique. It's not like something rehashed where it's like, oh, this just feels like Banjo-Kazooie and Donkey Kong got drunk and had a baby. Like no, it's its own. It's a standalone platformer.
Is you talking about ukulele?
No. Ukulele was like Banjo and Kazooie got drunk and had a baby.
Oh.
A lizard and a bat? What's up with
that?
that?
A bat, man.
What's up with that? Oh. Ukulele. That's actually a song. You've seen that, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay. I wasn't making it up, just so you know.
Copyright Caz and Hodder, Inc.
No. Oops.
So that sounds cool. Guys, definitely check out that game. What was
if you had a Switch, you could check it out.
Yeah, I think this is a fun opportunity to introduce a new segment here on Two Guys in the Game, which is games we regret buying. Because you said earlier you were like, oh, I'm talking about this in a minute. Game I shouldn't have bought.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So this could go either way. Maybe I'm just not giving this game a chance. But I bought this game after Fee because I beat Fee and I was just like, oh, you know what, this was fun. Okay, this game's like the same price. It looks kind of good. I'm into like Dead Space, and I'm into like, and it says it's like an action venture game. It's like got some horror aspect to it, and it's supposed to be like a mystery. So you're supposed to solve this mystery. I'm like, okay, give it a shot. So I buy it, and I'm like, and I watched a trailer for it, and it looked good. I looked at all the pictures, and it's called, what's it called? Oh no!
Oh my God.
No! I can't remember the name.
forgot the
I
name of
can't
the
warn
game.
people from it.
Oh,
Crap!
Caz.
I know. I had it on my tip of my tongue there before because I was remembering the name of it, and then, God damn. Okay. Okay, give me a second here. I will figure it out.
While you're thinking of that, I'll talk about mine real quick.
You go ahead.
Because this episode today has kind of been a little all over the place, but that's fine because we kind of knew it was going to be. But a game that you guys definitely should not waste your time on, even though I doubt any of you would come across this game anymore. But if for some reason you did in like a bargain bin or something, avoid it completely, because this is the game I bought. I think I literally bought it for like $5, and it wasn't even worth that. And it's for the PS3, but I think you can get it for a bunch of different consoles as well. I got it for PS3 in a bargain bin for $5. And it is called I Am Alive. And it sounded like a really cool concept. It's basically a post-apocalyptic game. There's this big thing called like the incident or the tragedy or whatever it was. I don't really remember. And you're this dude who like has to get back to this one city to go find his family, mainly his daughter.
Okay.
So it's like an explorer action adventure kind of game, really kind of laid back style, and like I get into it. I'm like, okay, this seems kind of cool, and like it's a little clunky. The controls aren't great, but I'm like, whatever. Okay, it's in a bargain bin. It was $5. How bad can it really be? And I got about halfway through the game when I realized like this game is going nowhere. This game is horrible. And it was to the point where there's these enemies.
This game is
terrible. Like I was kind of like gritting my teeth through it because I was like,
oh, Brian, what's going on with this game? I'll come back later. Oh, Mr. Furley, it's not what you think. Oh, okay, whatever you say, TJ.
Then I was like, oh no.
Oh no, Brian.
And this was so long ago that like I'm still pissed about it. You know what I mean?
How long ago was it? It was so long ago.
It was a long time ago that I got this
TJ
game.
wasn't even born. That's how tired I am.
No, but I didn't
can't
even
think of anything
I didn't
fun.
even know Kaz when I
You
was playing
didn't
this
know
game.
me.
No. That's how long ago
I'm trying
it
to
was.
find the receipt for this goddamn game, and it's like not coming up anywhere. I'm literally looking through my receipts. Like it comes up when you buy a game. Oh, here we go. Wait, did I buy it on Thursday? Must have bought it on Thursday. No. Yes. No. Nintendo, give me free stuff. There it is. Got it.
He got it. So yeah, I'm Alive. Don't buy it. It's shit. Anyway, Kaz, what is it?
Nobody was gonna buy it. Good stalling.
Good stalling.
Ha!
They call me the weed whacker.
All right, so this game is called Hollow.
Hollow.
Yes, and when you first read the description of it, you're like, this actually looks good.
So the game is hollow.
The game actually is hollow. From the inside out, it's got a nice shell on the outside. It looks good. It looks like an Xbox controller that you like be like, whoa, I'm totally invested in buying this, but then you get it and you realize it is not a Nintendo Switch. No, it was, I had seen it, I watched a trailer on it, and I was like, yeah, this is cool. And like, you're trying to figure out what's going on in this spaceship. You're on a spaceship orbiting like a farm in Jupiter or something. That's what the description says. I'm not giving it any justice because I don't think it deserves any justice.
And we believe in justice here on Two Guys
But I
in a
started
Game.
playing it, and maybe I'm probably going to go back to it, but this is some of the downsides to it. Right off the bat, when the game starts, it goes like this. It's like, this game uses the autosave function. Be sure not to turn off during autosave. I'm like, okay, cool. Get to the next scene. This game was made for playing with headphones. Like, okay, wait. What? This game was made for playing with headphones. Okay, I can't hear you. That's because you need to play with your headphones. What?
So like you can't hear anything when it.
No, it's not actually that bad. Like it says it's made for playing with headphones.
Oh.
But you don't have to. And I was kind of like, okay. So I started playing it, and I'm just like, no. I'm like, okay, why am I moving so slow? I'm like, oh, this is usually the run button. Then the run button makes you like walk at a faster pace. So you're like, I'm like, okay, this is kind of dumb. And then like I go through it a bit, and I'm like, all right, okay. I'm just gonna give me a chance. I'm just gonna give it a chance. Just like keep going. Let's just get through like the first part. Then I go into this area, and I'm like, okay, still haven't found any weapons yet. Like, And then it tells me it's like use this button to kick enemies. I'm like, oh, cool. I can kick things. This is fun. My legs flying up, and my guy's like, like that. And I'm just like, this is pretty good. It's pretty good. And then I find this note, and it's like, beware of the monsters. Don't trust anyone. And I'm just like, that's literally how you read the note because it's all in capitals. So I'm just like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my God. And then I turn around and there's just like, essentially it's like a nail gun, like a futuristic nail gun, like it's a spike gun. So I pick it up. I'm like, oh, this is kind of nifty. Hey, what is it? Like, oh, cool. Reload it.
Shoot spikes at people.
I reload it. I'm like, yeah, okay. And then I don't realize that every time you reload, it wastes a whole clip. So it's not just like you reload one bullet.
reload the whole
it
thing.
wastes the clip. So I picked up like 5 clips along the way, and I'm like, I got bullets. Then all of a sudden you turn around, and all of a sudden your character's like, what the fuck is that? And then it's just like, like that. And all these monsters start running out towards you. These like weird... And this monster looks like Dead Space. Like they look like necromorphs. That's how they sound. They're like, and then you're just like, oh my God, Shelly.
I'm sorry, I can't. Do it one more time.
Well, my monster screams are funny.
Do it
but-
one more time. I think it's the hands you're doing. Wait. Okay. Right now, you guys need to go on our Instagram if you haven't, because you need to see this video. Please, Caz, one more time. Hang on. Please do that one more time.
Okay. That's the sound. You hear the sound, and then the guy's like, whoa, oh my God. And then obviously you turn around, and then it's like the most least threatening thing. Like it's sort of threatening. It's like mildly threatening to you. Like, okay, so you know in Dead Space, you've seen Dead Space, right?
Yeah, I played
where
Dead
you're
Space.
walking, and Isaac's just like, spoiler alert for people who haven't played Dead Space, Isaac's like the best badass in freaking the world. He fights space aliens on 3 different occasions, 2 of them which are not his own fault, but the last one I blame him entirely for. Anyway, so you know in Dead Space 1 where you're walking along and you're like, it's quiet, too quiet. And then all of a sudden out of the ceiling, it just goes like, you just hear this like that, and it comes out and you're like, oh my God, I just had a heart attack.
Startled.
I'm so startled. Shelly, look at the camera, Shelly. Look at the oh my God. You know, it's like, so Dead Space actually has this effect where you're like, oh my God, there's a sense of urgency. This game's kind of like Dead Space took a shit. Literally. I'm not kidding you. This is how I would describe
It
it.
might have been a little runny.
Yeah, and so like I turn around and there's these aliens that look like Dead Space aliens, and they're like, sorry, I just like totally shit the bed on that call because I'm just tired of doing it. And
It's like 7 times.
And so they're like running towards you, but they're like this. Their arms are out, and they're like, their chests are towards you, and they kind of look like chicken men. Sorry, I'm away from the mic here because I'm trying to show them.
He's literally sticking his
But
chest
yeah,
out and putting his arms
if you
back.
if you recorded this, they could see, but it's okay, you don't have to. And so like they literally run towards you, but they're like, and that's like, I'm doing the chicken sound, so you get the idea. Like they're walking like chickens towards you in space. So they're like chicken people in space. Chicken people
In space.
And yeah, and so at first I'm like, oh, this is kind of scary because I can't move either. Like my guy only walks like a turtle as well. This is actually kind of scary. So I'm like walking away, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so startled right now. Charlie, look at the camera. Look at that. And so I turn around and I'm like, time to use a spike gun. Oops, I missed. It's okay. I got 5 more. I got 5 more loads of spikes. Oh, okay, I got him. I got the first one. His head exploded there. The second one comes up to me. I kick him. Miss the kick because he's like 2 feet away from where my foot was. So like, you know, gaming graphics are like, let's make this hard. So he hits me. I'm like, oh my God. So I kick him down and he falls on the ground. I'm like, and then he gets back up. I'm like, what? You mean kicking you doesn't kill you in this game? So I kick him again, and he gets knocked down again, and I keep kicking him, and I'm like, he must die eventually. No, he doesn't. So then I'm like, fine. I start shooting at him. I miss him, and then I run out of ammo. I'm like, oh my God, what just happened? And so
He
like,
died, obviously.
oh yeah, and so like I killed him, and then like I walk up the stairs, and then like another one drops down and tries to attack you, but it's all like. And it's running towards you, and I'm just like, this is the least threatening monster I've ever seen. Oh, wait a minute, I'm out of bullets. Now it's very threatening. Run! And I'm just like, oh God. And then, then it kills me. And like, oh, the stupid thing was, I escaped from them. I was running away from all of them, but they were all following right behind me. And I was like, you'll never catch me, not with the Hodder the Caz on my side. And I'm running away from them, and I'm like, okay, I can do this. I move just as fast as they do. And they're like, and my character's like, oh my God, I'm so startled. He runs, and finally we get into this room, and like all of a sudden the door's shut behind me. It goes, coom, clear, everything's clear. Saving. I'm like, oh, thank God. I'm like, all right, we don't have to deal with those monsters anymore. Now to find some ammo. I find like a clip of ammo. I go downstairs. All of a sudden the doors open. Boom, and the monsters are back again. I'm like, oh my God, I'm startled again. Oh God. And I'm running away from them. I'm just like, and so I run out of ammo while I'm fighting them again. And then I get to this one area and I'm like, I can still outrun them. If this game's just running, I can do this. I can beat this game. I'm a pro. And then all of a sudden it cuts to a cutscene. And what happens during this cutscene? They kill me during the cutscene. So the cutscene's like, it cuts to this guy and I'm chasing this guy on the ship. And I'm like, whoa, wait, hold on. And as I'm saying it, it like zooms in on the guy and it's showing the camera angles, like zooming in on him. Meanwhile, my character gets stopped, and all these monsters are just like,
Because you didn't kill them, they kill you.
you know, they're attacking me. And I'm just like,
They're pecking you to death.
and so I died, and then it knocks you back to your last save, but you don't get a save spot. Like it doesn't auto save all the time. It only saves when you go to these specific computers, so it makes it a little bit difficult. And so I was kind of like, "Oh, this game just lost my business," and it's just one of those games where I think you kind of just have to like get better at it with your shooting.
It seems more like you're frustrated more than you're regretting.
No,
buying it.
I don't like the idea.
You just don't like
it's
behind it.
clunky walking. Like the walking's clunky to me. Where I'm like, okay, I get it. You're in a spaceship, so gravity's like in effect and everything. But I'm like, if we're like this far advanced, don't you think anti-gravity would exist at this point? And if not, can we at least like make it so these chicken people that walk towards you can at least like you can whack them a bit more? Like honestly,
You can whack them off.
no, like seriously, like kicking them to the ground doesn't do anything. It just stops them for 5 seconds. Like at least in Dead Space, like Isaac was like, "Oh, I'm so enraged, curb stomp your head until it's gone." In this game, he's just like, "I'm kicking you. No, I'm gonna run." No. And Rick's like, "Oh, we're not in control mode. We're out of ammo. Oh God, I left the portal gun. Oh God." Rick, what are we doing? Oh no! Like the whole point is like Dead Space was frustrating to me when I first started playing, so that's why I.
But it's
compare
frustrating for the right reasons.
It is, but then you can figure it out. You can understand. You get better with the gun. So maybe that's why I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it probably just takes me going back and going, okay, I gotta conserve my ammo. The best solution is probably to kick these guys to the ground. While they're on the ground, you go, "Motherfucker." Pop them in the head, and that's the way I see it, because the way I was doing it before was I was just like, "Oh my God, I'm so startled, I gotta run, oh I gotta turn around, oh I missed, shouldn't have done that, waste of ammo," and I kept going, and like, but yeah, no, anyway, okay, you're right, maybe I am just frustrated.
Maybe
This is just called Zach being frustrated segment. No, but honestly, I do not think it's worth it for other reasons though. It's not just the gameplay.
It's clunky.
It feels
and just-
clunky.
yeah.
I don't like that. They're like, you should be playing with headphones. Wait, what'd you say? Play with headphones. I don't hear what you say. Play with headphones. Oh my God. And I'm just like, okay, I don't want to
Don't
play with
tell me what
headphones.
to
Like I like to
do.
watch TV while I play games. I'm a multitasker. My brain, I don't have a high attention span, so I hate to be engaged in multiple platforms. And whether that's listening to a podcast while playing a video game.
I was gonna say I'm the same way. Like, sometimes I like to listen to podcasts when I play video games.
Yeah, so but it was one of those games where it probably just requires your full attention span. It's probably better to play it on the television screen, and maybe it's better with
Headphones. Maybe you should just listen to the game and.
No, I listened to it and I'm like reading the dialogue and I'm like, "Oh, this is great." But then yeah, those creatures, they're just like the rip off of Dead Space. And
But they're chickens.
but they're like chicken people, and I didn't like it because at least in Dead Space, like I said, Isaac's like hurling his arms around. He's like freaking swinging his body around. It makes you feel like you at least have a chance, like to get away from these things, even though you don't. In Dead Space, you don't have a chance. But the plasma cutter's way cooler than the spike gun. It's just like, "Hey, look at my gun. It's got shoot spikes." Like Isaac's like using a tool to cut plasma with. He's like, "Oh yeah, this is my plasma cutter. It's used to like cut steel, but I'm gonna use it to cut your limbs off."
I'm gonna use it to cut your head off.
Anyways, it's called Hollow. I mean, it's interesting. I will say that at the least. And yes, I definitely have to go back and give it more of a chance. As TJ's like, "Yeah, you gotta give it more of a chance, man. Just give it a chance."
It sounds like it's an interesting game, but like if it's clunky. And
Yeah, it's just
So
I don't like
use
the
your discretion,
movements.
guys. Use your discretion.
I don't like the movement. Like that's one of the whole things that kind of like just pulls me away from it. Where I'm just like, me. You know, I'm like, I'd rather be one of the, you know, the game's messed up when you'd rather be one of these chicken people chasing down the good guy than be the good guy. Like you're like, wow, these guys have it figured out. They've clearly survived this long. They know how to take out people.
They know how to be gigantic chicken people.
Crab people. pull. That's what they're like walking towards you.
They have the little pinchers. Oh, well, that's interesting. So, yeah, definitely don't buy I'm Alive and use caution with Hollow, basically, is what we're saying.
What's Hollow?
Hollow in the mountain. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I believe it is now time for some shout-outs.
Oh my God.
Shoutouts initiating!
Oh my God. So we want to give a shout out to, of course, first and foremost, all of the Podbeard crew, myself, the Hodder Show, Mr. Radio A over there, as well as our boys Stick and Craig of the Honest Lazy Show, our boys Prog Rocker and Dark Runner, the YouTube and Twitch gaming
We should
peoples.
make a Podbeard rap. Like, Podbeard Network. Huh. He's the leader of the pods. You know him well. You know.
I wasn't going to interrupt you. I was just going to let you go. But that'd
yeah.
actually be funny. That could be funny. We should work on that. We, of course, want to give a shout-out to our man, Mr. Josh, over at Still Loading Podcast. Of course, to the Drinks with Larry crew for all the support. They always make sure to tweet us, let us know what they think of the episode. And they always... I know they actually listen, which is really cool.
Retweet that.
And we always retweet the shit out of that. Of course, want to give a shout-out to the Amazing Nerd Show. I also want to give a shout-out to... our good friend Mr. Dylan Hunter, who is the #1 fan of our podcast, who I literally talk with Dylan like every day. It's hilarious.
I should talk to him. I feel bad. I've been like busy on my midnight, so I haven't had time to talk to him.
At least now he'll know why.
I feel so bad, Dylan. I'm sorry. I know you're there. I'll
I'm
get back to
sorry.
you. Just give me some time to come back to my
It's okay,
normalness.
Dylan. Sometimes I'll text him and he just won't respond to me for like 3 days. It's cool.
Hey, I told you that
You know-
in confidence.
You
No,
know
just
who else
joking.
is a shitty responder when I text them? The producer. No. Anyway. Any shouts you want to give, Cass?
Yeah. No, I don't have any.
Crickets.
I'm just like really like. I was like, yeah, I have a shout out. Here's a shout out to you, TJ. Shut the
Shut the
fuck up. Shut up.
And then I actually want to give a shout out to another podcast I've really been enjoying the last little bit. It's a true crime podcast. I actually discovered it through Josh. It's called The Apex and the Abyss.
Oh my
It's a
God.
really good podcast. You guys definitely check it out if you're into that kind of thing.
Were you startled? I'm so startled. Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so startled. Oh, they're coming down the street.
So I think that's going to do us here today. Any more thoughts, Kaz?
I have a disease. I have a disease. No, you don't have a disease, Kaz. You just have to stop podcasting so much. I don't know. I can't help it.
Or it's more you need to get some sleep.
Yeah, I do need sleep.
Okay, well, let's go with Kaz, get some sleep. I've been Hodder.
I've been barely awake, Kaz.
And we'll catch you guys next time on Two Guys and a Game.
Oh my God.